My name is Abdul Sabur. I'm 28 years old from Afghanistan. I leave my country uh, 5 years ago, and I traveled 2 years in Balkan route. I cross Pakistan, Iran, Turkey, Bulgaria, and then I arrived to Serbia. I was there 1 year in Serbia and trying to get to Europe, but after a very difficult journey, um, finally I arrived to Europe. And during my journey, I photographed my journey and also the journey of other immigrants and refugees. And I was thinking it's very important to tell their story to the people and reach their voice to others, because it was more important, like when we go somewhere and when we cross, we not speak with people the language, and most of the time we will show the pictures and they will understand where we live and how we came. And then I decided it's very important also, it's don't need the language. And me, I was during my journey in exile, my photo was published in different countries, and there was some exhibitions about my journey, and which give me more energy. And I was thinking it's very important because I'm stuck here, and my photo going talking to the people and telling my story and telling other immigrant story. If you are not understand something, you can ask me again with the language. Sorry. And then I'm in France. I'm living in Calais. uh, During the lockdown, I came to Calais. There's 1,500 refugees living in Calais who's try to get to UK, and there was not enough volunteering to help. And I'm continue taking pictures to telling their story. Um, Normally, they not trust other photographer, and the situation in Calais, especially, they hiding from the media, and they spend a lot of money to be not in media and trying to hide where as a refugee they install their tents and things, and they're destroying this. Um, so yeah, pardon. So the photography I start was in my journey before in Afghanistan. I was also can you see me or not?
Yes, 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 yes.
I can see it. The photography I start more in my journey in Afghanistan. I was also taking pictures, but not as a professional. And after my pictures took place in many places, because it was more interesting to people to hear from refugees. There's always people telling our story the way they want, and I decided to tell their story the way I want, because I also understand myself as a refugee, what it's mean to be refugee, and it's very important. And I try to fight for their right throughout the art and throughout my photography. And I'm continue doing this. I planning to go back to the Balkan, and 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 teaching other refugees the photography to they can tell their story or their friend's story, and also about their journey.
Thank you. That would be great. We really need to hear from refugees themselves, because often we put labels and our proper mindset without expecting, without knowing what it really feels to be a refugee, especially in this extremely difficult time in the context of the pandemic. Then in afterwards in the discussion, Abdul, you can share more about your inspiration and the moment of capturing all those faces. Now I give the floor to Mrs. Nikolina Milic, who
We
is
can
our
share more, but with the journey was very difficult, and I don't think if I will go again to all this detail, it will be very long. As you know, like I spent almost like it's 2 years journey, and sometimes it's not very easy to talking about this. And I still see many refugees child who's suffering living in Kala in jungle. 5 years old, 3 years old, 4 years old. They worry, they suffer a lot with the mental health. Basically, the living condition is very bad. Physically they're here, but mentally still they're in war. And we already see when police spray them, put spray and beat them and destroy their tents. The tent it's mean to them like home, and we give the tents, and then they coming and take the tents. And also when they try to go to UK, they don't let them to go to UK, and they don't. Many of them they reject. They not get asylum in Europe. The people they don't have any choice, and they don't know where to go and what to do. It's so complicated and it's very, very difficult to us to see these things always. But yeah, in my journey, sometimes it's very difficult to I talking about, which was very difficult, like especially when we heard yesterday about the Bulgaria and the boy. I was very difficult. I had a very difficult experience from Bulgaria with the police, and also it's nowhere, it's everywhere, it's the same. Uh, Yeah, but if you have any question about the country, if anyone, if they want to ask, I will be very happy to answer.